I say, you don't like a Jackson Pollock style painting? No problem, because you're not going to be seeing one today in your daily life. But if you happen to live in, anywhere in the world, really, you could be walking by some public sculpture that is abstract, that you don't understand, and most people would probably scratch their head at, why would the city pay so much money for this thing that just looks like the I don't get it factor, and just keep walking on by. The what is it? That all of these have some kind of a what is it, when, it really isn't something. Often, it's, this like any abstract art, the emotion that it evokes, or the feeling that it gives you. And I think people don't hesitate to say, one thing about sculpture is I think people will say, I don't like it, or, but obviously these sculptors and these planning commissioners who buy these things know that there is more to it than 90% of the people are going to get out of it. Maybe you get this out of it, maybe you don't get anything out of it, maybe this guy looks at it every day and loves it. So anyway, they're just things. And that's the other half of this thought, that they are things. They exist in the world. They take up space. Snow falls on them, and then snow sits on them, and then snow melts or forms ice, and so they can blow in the wind. They can move and be kinetic, and not to say literally they're alive, but they're sort of a presence on the planet, just like a boulder or a car or a person or a building. It's, this stuff is everywhere, and these artists obviously aren't. There's a lot of work to these things, and so few people get it that I'm sure these sculptures, the end result is the version 10, on what they started off at, and they work on it for a year or who knows how long, and some deep conceptual thing that they usually are going for. I know myself messing around in the backyard. Yes, occasionally I'll just put one thing next to some other thing, and hey, those two look good together, and it sort of can happen faster than I expected sometimes, but not usually. But a painter friend of mine once used the phrase, two things that lay together well, and that apparently is a common art concept, that we can't explain like why this looks good to us, but these two things look good together, and it's almost like kindergarten or childish, super childlike viewpoint that you need to have to just accept it and not overanalyze it. There's that level. But driving down, like you say, the Ohio exit ramp or whatever, it was a revelation to me to find out that was something to do with giving births, and I liked it a lot more. So popular culture, the term abstract art has become like a parody, usually applied when meaningless or impossible to understand is meant, when in reality they also say, quote, abstract means something that is not attempting to represent reality. What is this about? What does it prompt you to think about? Are you confronted with a particular color or shape? How does what you're looking at make you feel? You are always in dialogue with the piece by virtue of being its viewer. The artist has probably carefully considered your role as the viewer and wants it to speak to you on some level, so you don't have to feel like you're solving a mystery that has one correct answer. Artists often delight to hear what different viewers uncover in dialogue with their artwork, even if it's nowhere near the artist's intent. As with almost everything relating to art, the most important thing to remember is to have fun and not to worry about whether you know what you're supposed to know. And if a piece just doesn't speak to you, that's okay. It's probably not for you. The other great thing about abstract art is that it can mean something to you that no one else sees. You know, the fact that this outdoor sculpture looks different on different days, whereas a painting, you know, mostly looks the same. I mean, yeah, sunlight hits it or something, but, you know, we try to avoid sunlight on paintings, whereas the metal or whatever it is, you know, literally on a gray day and or where you're standing, where the light is, if it's wet, you know, that it changes. You know, even when it's done, it still looks different on different days from different angles, which to me means it gives back more.